Soccer has taken over Philly, and when the World Cup rolls out, the party doesn't stop because we have professional soccer right here. The Philadelphia Union returned to play to host rivals Red Bull New York on July 22nd. If you've never seen a match, now's your chance with the first match on us. If you have seen a game, enter today to win VIP tickets to watch Inter Miami take on the Philadelphia Union when Lionel Messi comes to town on August 18th. Register for both at philaunion.co/citycast.
I know we've had some rainy days this past week, but sunshine lies ahead and temps are forecasted to be back in the high 90s, which means I need to find some creative ways to cool down. So we're revisiting an episode that took me out to the Schuylkill in a kayak, researching the ways Philadelphians can get in some water. Our region has waterways, lakes, both man-made and natural, and you don't just have to swim in these places. You can also kayak, canoe, boat, or tube. I phoned in former roving producer Selena Seay-Reynolds, who grew up in Bucks County, to help build a summer waterhole checklist full of recs and best practices. It's Monday, July 13th. I'm Abby Fritz, filling in for Trinanary, and here's where you can swim this summer. Let's go. Selena, thanks so much for sitting down to talk about how we can beat the heat this summer here in Philly. Let's get into it. I know you're our suburb queen. We will get to the suburbs and outside of Philly later, but I think we've got to focus first on what's in Philly proper. Something that I've heard my friends doing a lot this summer, which I had never thought to do, was they'll go to a rec center or a playground of some sort and play basketball or something like that. And then they run through the spray grounds afterwards in Philly. So they get energy out and immediately cool down. I've seen a couple cool ones around. My personal fave is the East Poplar Playground over in Poplar. Super well-rounded, basketball court, tennis courts, whole playground, pool, really cute spray ground. All of the little... It's so cute. All the little spigots look like flowers. It's adorable. And there's a ton around the city, but another one that I've seen before is Sister City Splash Pad. It's a gorgeous little spot along the Parkway. You should definitely check it out. Mm-hmm. It's actually modeled after the Wissahickon landscape, so it looks very natural, rocky, but then, kid-friendly. After going to the museums, you can go let them spray down and cool off.
Yeah, I was looking into the different splash pads and spray grounds, and I found out that the city has actually 89.
Oh, that's a lot.
You can go on the Philadelphia Parks and Rec Finder website, and you can just look at the map. So did you know that out of all the major cities in the U.S., Philadelphia has the most public swimming pools per capita?
What? No way. That's crazy.
We have one in almost every neighborhood with 72 total.
Oh my God. I didn't realize how many there were.
Yeah, that's one for every 21,000 residents. And in places like New York, they have one for every 150,000 residents.
Oh my God. Oh, whoa. So we're doing pretty good. Philly wants us to swim, apparently.
Literally, Philadelphia is swimming in swimming pools. Those are all free for Philadelphia residents. Anyone younger than 8 years old needs to be accompanied by an adult. And then some of these pools have programming and stuff like that. So you can find out online.
For sure. I haven't been to any of the public pools yet, but I have been to a couple private pools. A few summers ago, the W hosted a party with Sip City, and that was really fun. It's a beautiful, rooftop deck with a bar.
Sounds lovely.
It was gorgeous. I love that. But they are a little more expensive and pricier to get into if you want to go to some of these private pools. There's also swim clubs around. Kind of same vibe, though. you're going to have to drop some cash, and a lot of them have wait lists. So there's like Lombard Swim Club, University City Swim Club. But one that I really wanted to highlight that host Trinae Nari told me about is about 20 minutes away out in Yaden. It's called the Nile Swim Club. It's really affordable in comparison to the other ones in the area, and it's also historically significant. It opened back in 1958 in response to racial segregation and limited access to public pools for African Americans in the area. It's a historically Black-owned swim club, and it became a huge cultural hub in the 60s, and
That's
it's still around
amazing.
today. Yeah.
So cool.
I've also seen that some gyms have pools, and I feel like if I wanted access to like a chlorinated pool regularly, I might go this route just because you can get more than just like swimming out of it.
Yeah, speaking of gym activities, there's also the Y. And then I wanted to mention the Salvation Army Croc Center of Philadelphia. It's up in North Philly. I really wanted to highlight both of these because I was on a quest to find where people can get swim lessons in Philadelphia this summer.
Yes.
Both of these places offer swim classes for kids of all ages and also adults.
Oh, whoa.
Yes, it's never too late to learn how to swim. And both of these also offer financial aid, like either in the form of need-based assistance or scholarships. If you know a child with disabilities, there's a program called SNUG that will work one-on-one with them and help with basic water safety skills like water acclimation and then teaching them how to swim.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, learning to swim can be hard, especially in a city. I also know that if you volunteer at Bartram's Garden, which I'm a volunteer there right now, they'll help you out and pay for swimming lessons and get you trained up. So if you want to be outside and contribute to a community organization, they'll also help you out a little bit too with things like that. That kind of brings me to like, you know, if you don't want to like swim, there are tons of other like water activities you can do in Philly proper, like kayaking and boating.
Mm-hmm.
So like I mentioned, Bartram's Garden, they have a boathouse program and they'll get you out on the water. They'll give you everything you need, life vests, kayaks, rowboats, tandem, single, literally whatever you want. You can go out for free Saturdays, 3 to 7 p.m. right now. And this program runs through October. So you have plenty of time to try it out. If you're under 18, you will have to have an adult with you. If you're over 13, an adult would at least need to sign off that they're okay with you going on the water alone. And also, our host, Trinae Nari, has gone to FDR Park, which does free boating. So check that out.
They also have like fishing at Bartram's Garden, right?
Yes, they do. They have like a live bait vending machine where you can get your
God.
bait. It's so crazy. Yeah, fascinating.
Oh my God, wait, I want to go just to see what that looks like. That's so terrible, but really cool. I have another fun fact for you, which is that the Philadelphia Canoe Club is the third oldest paddling club in the United States.
My friend lives at the Philadelphia Canoe Club.
Wait, they live at the Canoe Club?
They live at the Canoe Club. Actually, their first floor will flood occasionally because it's so close to
No
the
way.
Schuylkill. Shout out to G. They're amazing, and they have been a part of the Canoe Club for a while and are helping maintain that like historical building there. It's beautiful on the inside, lots of memorabilia, gorgeous woodwork. It's really cool. If you haven't checked it out, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, I saw that they're located like not too far away from me, down like on the Wissahickon Creek where it empties out into the Schuylkill River.
I love the Wiss. What a beautiful backdrop.
Yes.
And we got to talk about the Wiss, actually.
Absolutely.
Yes, because, you know, technically within city limits, swimming is not allowed on any public waterway for any reason. There's no lifeguard supervision. There's a lot of like dangers that you might not see, like trash and things beneath the water. And also just like the water quality in general, they don't maintain it to standards. There's water quality indexes you can check out in the city. I know Bartram's Garden has one that they regularly update.
There's Philly Rivercast.
Look at that. So definitely, if you need more convincing of why you shouldn't swim, just check the water quality out. And I think that'll give you everything you need to know. But that being said, like, I see people swimming all the time. I was over in like Lafayette Hill the other day and I got breakfast at Bruno's, which is like a cute little diner. And then I walked down the Wissahickon Creek and like so many people were swimming and no one's enforcing it. You know what I mean? Which like, I'm not here to enforce it, right? But it's fascinating to me that this is like a rule and no one does anything about it.
Yeah, I'm glad that we started talking about this, Abby, because before I talked to you, I had just met a new friend and she was like, oh, like, let's go swimming out at Devil's Pool in the Wissahickon. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. I hadn't heard of it before.
You are not the first person I've told this to. I actually know someone who's gotten sick from swimming in Devil's Pool. And like,
No.
you should not swim there. We have an entire episode, which I'll throw the link in the show notes, about why Devil's Pool is like one of the worst places to swim in the Wiss. It's just like really close to where when sewage overflows, it's gonna have a high concentration of it there. So you can get like very sick swimming there, you know, if it gets in your mouth and things like that. So like I said, I'm not here to police anyone, but if you need a reason, here's a reason not to. You don't want to swim in poopy water, I promise.
Thank you for protecting us.
Got you.
Okay, but there are natural waterways that we can go swim in. We just need to get a little bit out of the city.
Yes, definitely. And we'll dig into some of those after the break.
As you begin to make your itinerary for summer, add Brooklyn Bowl to the list. Brooklyn Bowl is a perfect blend of live music, bowling, beer, and food. It's located in Fishtown next to the Fillmore. 24 bowling lanes, 2 bars, and a restaurant featuring food from the Blue Ribbon Restaurant Group. It's open Thursday through Saturday evenings with live shows and parties every week. Half price bowling Thursdays, family bowl Saturdays, plus food and drink specials in the restaurant during Phillies games. Go to brooklynbowl.com/Philadelphia to purchase tickets to shows, make a restaurant reservation, or inquire about hosting your next private event on the Brooklyn Bowl lanes.
Should we dive back in?
I think it's time to dive back in. So like we were mentioning before, we covered all of the Philly area spots. And for our next segment, most of these places you're going to likely have to drive to or finesse a ride. That's what we're talking about. And a ton of Philadelphians flock to the Jersey Shore in the summer. We have a whole episode dedicated to the shore, which is going to be in the show notes. So we're not going to talk about that right now, but we will get into some other great wrecks. I recently went to Trap Pond State Park a few weeks ago. It's gorgeous. It's 3 hours away by car in Delaware, and it's a bald cypress swamp.
Wow.
You heard me right. There's like trees growing out of the water. It is like beautiful and green, and there was like turtles everywhere. It was so gorgeous. And it's the northernmost naturally occurring bald cypress like swampy area. There's 9 miles of water trails, and it was like literally a dream to kayak there. I could not believe like I actually was seeing like all these lily pads in the trees and all of the fish. It was so cool. And it was fairly affordable, like $8 to park for out-of-state vehicles, and it was $30 for 3 hours to rent a kayak and take it out on the water. And I think it was only like $2 of tolls to get there. So it wasn't horrible as far as like a big trek.
No, not at all. Wow, I'm looking at photos. It looks so pretty.
It's gorgeous. What's been on your aquatic wish list, Selena?
So I love a waterfall, and I would love to visit some of these. Sadly, most of these are like at least an hour and a half away and up in the Poconos. I am hopeful I'm going to make it to one of these before the summer ends, but in the meantime, I definitely want to go to a swimming hole. We've got a couple not too far away around here. I used an app named Outly to find these.
What is it? Outly?
Yeah, Outly, like get out. You know,
cool.
Like outside. So there's West Vincent Swimming Hole in French Creek, which is about an hour west by car.
Mhm.
There's White Clay Creek Preserve. That's an hour and a half right next to Delaware. They have a Friends of the Preserve organization that tests the water quality during the season. So that's pretty cool. And then finally, over in central New Jersey, there's Hopewell Quarry, which is an hour away from Philadelphia. And I've heard nothing but great things about. There's lifeguard on duty, a dock to sun on, like a tire swing or
Whoa,
a rope swing, and other amenities.
that's fun. I've been hearing a lot about Assateague Island. It's about 3 hours away, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a beach island on the coast, and there are literal wild horses that just roam around the beach.
Oh my God.
Isn't that so cute? And they're apparently like really sweet. They just kind of walk around.
Oh.
You could literally be like on a towel on the beach, and then like a horse is like a couple feet over,
Oh
which
my
is
God.
crazy. It is a national seashore, so it has been affected by some of the things going on in the federal government. There's been hiring freezes, and they're having a bit of a staffing problem. So they haven't had lifeguards out there, but you can still go and, dip your feet in and hang out with the horses if you wanted to until they get that staffing situation sorted.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple lakes. The first one I'm going to mention is Belmar, which is a man-made lake. It's about 20 minutes away over in Jersey, and it looks so cute. It low-key feels like a place where you take your friends to get like kind of lit and like hang out and get wet. Like that's kind of the vibe it's giving. There's a lifeguard on duty. There's a full bar and a full grill. They have like an area for volleyball and horseshoes. It's over in Jersey. It's called Belmar. Really cute. There's also free parking on site, and it's open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., $12 Monday through Friday, and $18 for weekends and holidays.
Horseshoes, but no horses.
Exactly. Another one is Mock Chunk State Park. It's a little farther away. It's about 2 hours out in Jim Thorpe, and it's very beautiful. I mean, if you know anything about Jim Thorpe, like insane hiking, beautiful camping area. So if you want like a whole swimming, hiking, camping experience, I think Mock Chunk is a great option. To get to the actual beach part of the lake, there's $10 entry fee for adults and $7 for kids. They're open Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Both of those sound amazing, Abby, but we still haven't gotten to my favorite of the schuiming options.
Ooh,
Rivers.
yes, we're surrounded by them here in Philly.
Absolutely. So even though swimming in the Schuylkill is not advised, we have a lot of other options to choose from, namely the Brandywine and Delaware rivers.
Oh, okay. So why are we allowed to swim in these as opposed to the other ones in the area?
Well, number one, they're not in the city of Philadelphia, but it actually has a lot to do with environmental factors. First of all, the Delaware River is a way larger river and has a huge watershed, which is the term for the amount of water that's in a river total.
Oh.
I thought that they were going to be like kind of similarly sized, but the Delaware is almost 6 times as big as the Schuylkill.
Whoa, oh my God. Are you serious? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost 6 times as big as the Schuylkill, and it isn't as winding. So there isn't as much potential for pollution and runoff. And then what does get in there is pretty diluted.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the Brandywine is like really short and cute as far as rivers go.
Oh.
So there just isn't as much potential for runoff and pollution, period.
That's awesome. I've heard about the Delaware, but tell me a little bit more about Brandywine.
So it's about an hour southwest from Philadelphia, and depending on where you go along the river, you can swim, tube, canoe, kayak.
Oh.
Great option, not too far. And they also have spots for picnicking along the river. It's a popular swimming area. The most exciting thing I saw you can do there is a canoe and dine.
Oh, what?
Yeah, a romantic dinner offering about an hour and a half away in Westchester. So you go out and you paddle and you come back and they have prepared like a meal that you've pre-selected. You can like get vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever options. And so you can get back from your canoe trip with your boo and eat like a salmon dinner by candlelight.
Oh my God. I'm literally stealing that for my next date night. I'm absolutely doing that. Love that idea. We've been talking a lot about swimming, but, being in the water can be dangerous. Do you
Yes.
have some do's and don'ts for me?
Yeah, so I grew up going tubing on the Delaware River, and these rivers, like I mentioned, are really, really big, like bodies of water. And whenever you go out into anywhere that's not a pool, you're dealing with Mother Nature. And the water is dark. You can't see what's under it. The bottom isn't even. There can be pretty much anything in the water besides just animals, fallen trees, all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even really good and experienced swimmers can get pulled down by the current. So making sure that you and any children that are with you are wearing safety gear that like fits you properly is super important. I went tubing with a friend and her inner tube popped.
Oh my
And
God.
yes, girl, she got pulled over by the current in the middle of the Delaware.
Oh my God. That's honestly such a nightmare. That's so scary.
Yeah, it was. So, like, before you go out, definitely prepare. Definitely make sure that you like feel confident about your swimming abilities,
Mm.
and searching a checklist of things to bring is really, really great. Rope, sunscreen, lots of water. Again, no heat stroke allowed, please.
Yeah, stay hydrated, protect your skin. Also, we went tubing on the Delaware and you brought water shoes, which I would have never thought of. And I was so glad you brought them for us.
Yes, and then some sort of like water safe bag. It's also like really
Yes.
great to go like with a tubing or a rafting, canoeing, kayaking company because they have things like key check, wallet check, where you can like
Yeah.
leave those things. No better way to ruin your day than to lose your keys to your car in the middle of a river.
Yeah, that would be the worst thing ever.
There's no fish running a little lost and found in there for you. Oh no. The last thing that I think is really important to bring with you is a bag for your trash.
Mm.
One of the reasons why like places like Philadelphia prohibit swimming and recreating in these natural waterways is not just for our safety, but it's for the safety of the environment. So making sure that you are cleaning up after yourself and not leaving anything that can harm the wildlife is super essential. So being
Absolutely.
prepared so that nothing that shouldn't be in the river stays in the river. But speaking of things in the river,
Are we on to your favorite spot?
absolutely. So I promised best for last. I mentioned that I grew up going tubing in the Delaware River. I am a diehard fan of Bucks County River Country up in Pipersville. It's about an hour and a half up from Philly, and I just promise it is worth the drive. It is the most like raucous, kind of like rough and tumble kind of fun, like you park your car, you get your tube, and you like load up into this emptied out shell of a school bus with like you and a bunch of other tubers, and they drive you 20 minutes upriver, and then they let you out on the side of the road and leave, and you like plop yourself down into the tube and just start floating. I had to take you there.
Yes, you did.
Did it live up to your expectations?
It absolutely did. I had actually never been tubing, and like I consider myself to be a very competent swimmer. I used to play water polo actually when I was younger, and I used to like flex that I could tread water longer than anyone else on the team. So I'm really good at keeping my head out of the water, but the current was really strong. I did not expect that. So definitely I think take the water seriously. The river means business. But once you like sit down and we had our little LaCroix with us, sipping them and just chatting while the water carries you down the river. It was so beautiful. And we even got caught in a little rainstorm for a minute.
Gosh.
But it was so fun.
We maybe should have checked the
Yeah.
weather forecast. You guys should check the weather forecast. We did not.
But we weren't just going for leisure.
Nope.
We were on a mission, Selena.
The river meant business, and so did we. So growing up, every summer when I'd go tubing, there was this, how do I describe him?
I think he's called the Famous River Hotdog Man.
Yeah, and we need you, the listeners, to help us out with this one.
Yeah, because a couple years ago you came to visit and you were telling me about how you could go tube on the Delaware and on a island in the middle of the river called Resolution Island. you could buy a hot dog from a dude selling hot dogs on the river. Crazy concept. Everything I need.
Like waist deep in water, wearing some waders, like just grilling some hot dogs. And you could literally just like float up to him. And it was so much fun.
You had told me about this hot dog man. I had been wanting to check it out. And so, it's a bit away. So I started calling and emailing them, trying to figure out if like this is still a thing. I couldn't find anything online about whether or not you could still get a hot dog on the Delaware. He had gotten a lot of coverage before COVID, but his presence online had like kind of dipped off. And after digging around for a little bit, I did unfortunately discover that the original Famous River Hotdog Man, Greg Krantz, he passed in 2021. The community celebrated him for feeding so many people and like leaving his job to follow his dreams of selling hot dogs on the Delaware, which is incredible. We all need dreams like that.
Rest in peace, Greg.
He's iconic.
So inspiring growing up as like a kid, just thinking that this is normal.
Every river has a hot dog man.
Such a novelty.
So I thought that was like kind of the end of my research, but then I found photos of someone from like a year ago buying hot dogs from someone named Eugene on Resolution Island. So I was like, hold up. And I'm like zooming in on these pictures on like Google Maps or whatever. And there's some signage that's like honoring the original River Hot Dog Man, Greg Krantz. And I was like, God, maybe there's someone, paying homage to him and still selling hot dogs out there. So we went to find out. We didn't see anyone on Resolution Island.
No.
Granted, we went on a Thursday and it was raining part of the time we were there. So there is a possibility that maybe he wasn't there that day because of the conditions. So, please, if you're from the area or if you've seen someone since 2021 picking up Greg's grill, slipped on Greg's waders, we'd love to hear from you guys. We want to find the new Famous River Hot Dog Man. If it's you, if it's someone you know, give us a call at 215-259-8170 or shoot us an email at philly@citycast.fm and let us know. We want to talk to you. We've got some hot dogs to talk about.
If you're out there listening, Hot Dog Man, please call us. We applaud you.
This was so much fun. I'm so glad we had that adventure to try to find Hot Dog Man. I'm so glad we now have a bunch of things to add to our water hole adventure list. Selena, thanks for taking a dip with me.
Thank you.
That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you found your next swimming spot, make sure to drop the link to this episode in the group chat. Tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. And don't forget, you can support the show and get some great perks by becoming a CityCast Philly neighbor. We're going to be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.